All right, so welcome back to Copywriter's Corner, and in this video you are going to learn how people consume copy. Now, I briefly went over it in the last video talking about headlines and VSLs when I talked about how I consume copy personally, but the thing is, most people do consume it that way, and if you don't know how people are going through and looking at your sales pages, then you're going to be at a significant disadvantage. You need to know how your consumer basically reacts, how they go through the stuff that you are putting in front of them. If you don't, then how are you going to optimize your sales pages? How are you going to optimize your ads? How are you going to do anything if you don't know how your consumer, how your potential customer is going to be looking at your stuff? So how do people normally go through sales pages? Though there's going to be multiple kinds of people, that's the thing, which is why you need to make your sales pages very dynamic so that you can hit every single person. Now, the thing is, as I said before in the previous video, the headline and the VSL are going to be the most important. Reason for that is because that is about all people base everything on. They may not know that they're doing that, but on a subconscious level, as they look at the headline and as they watch a bit of the VSL, all they're really going to be basing their decision on are those very two things. Now, the other thing that you need to realize is that yes, you are writing a lot of copy, but when people scroll through stuff, it's not a very, very slow process. There are some people who read like that, but if you get apps like Hotjar, stuff like that, where you can actually put a pixel on your page and then you can see how people are looking through your pages, you're going to notice a very reoccurring theme. Everyone is just flying through your page, and then boom, they'll see a headline and they'll stop. And they'll read it for a second, think, boom, they'll stop. They'll see a picture or something, they're looking at it, boom, stop. They're looking at headlines, they're looking at bullet points maybe, looking at through it, stop. And then they'll get to a point, maybe they hit the end of the page, and they'll start scrolling back up, looking through stuff, scrolling back up, looking through stuff, scroll back down, and then they make their decision. So if you know that that is how people are consuming your copy, you need to make sure that you are taking adjustments in order to meet that. You need to make sure that you have very punchy headlines that catch their attention to make them stop scrolling, because you are trying, that's basically the point of the headline. You need to catch their attention real quick and let them know that that something important is happening right there. You want to make sure that you have visual elements, because some people respond more visually to stuff versus words. Those are going to be the people who move through your sales page the fastest. And you want to make sure that you have the most important things going on in your bullet points. And there's going to be another video where I talk about what exactly should be inside of your bullet points. But you need to make sure that you know how people consume any sort of content that is going to be on the sales page, or just content in general. If you've ever seen anyone go through Facebook, like just take a minute to not even just other people, but just observe your own behavior. That is why I know how people go through sales pages, because I've noticed how I personally go through them, and then I try to meet my own needs and then see how other people go through content as well. And you'll notice a reoccurring thing where if you see anyone scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, it's more along the lines, it's not like very slow. It's more along the lines of scroll, 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 scroll. Huh, that looks interesting. Scroll, 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 scroll. Huh, that's interesting. Let me check the comments. Huh, that's funny. Scroll, 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 scroll. Oh, wow. What is that? Clicks the link. No, this isn't for me. Back. Scroll, 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 scroll. That's basically how people consume content. So everything you do needs to be lightning fast. You need to make sure you catch their attention immediately. Keep it in order to get whatever goal it is that you're trying to get, whether it be their email or a sale. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.